The 2024 car show season is finally started. We're going to start this year off at the Central Iowa Auto Club's April Show and Shine in Winterset, Iowa. Let's go see what we can find at this first show. We'll start this year off with this nice early 70s Mustang Fastback. The 68 Stingray Corvette looks like a great way to be out and catch some sun on a beautiful day. You gotta love these two-tone paint jobs on these early 70s Chevy trucks. This one looks like it would be more happy getting a little dirty in the mud than all shined up, but looks great either way. This old Chevy Coupe's got a fun passenger along for the ride, it looks like. This 57 Chevy wagon sure was turning some heads. Love the paint color on this. It sure was shining in the bright April sun. I'm not sure you can even have a car show without some good Mopar muscle. The six-pack Challenger sure does turn some heads in this show. This 30s Ford Coupe sure has a nice style for an all original or original styled vehicle. It looks like we got some good early 60s styling in this Oldsmobile Starfire. This isn't a car you see very often, but it got some great lines. This Ford shoebox coupe sure looks interesting. Love the vintage cooler they got sitting in the back seat too. I'm sure it's not every day in small town Iowa that you see an Alfa Romeo parked on Main Street. This is a pretty rare sight, but a nice looking car. Here we've got another one of those late 60s, early 70s Mustang fastbacks. This one happens to be in red and badged as a Mach 1 Cobra. We'll see what it looks like. The Chevy 2 or Nova is always a popular car around these parts at shows. You'll see 3 or 4 of them at most shows. This one's pretty nice. This 64 Falcon convertible, Ford's alternative to the Nova, is also a nice car at this show. This Mercury Coupe from probably the late 30s sure looks nice. Don't know what's under the hood, but given the wheels, I bet she's a hot rod. We don't see too many international trucks around these parts, but this one had a nice look. Love the visor and the way it accents everything. You can regularly find Pontiacs at these shows, but usually they're Firebirds or GTOs. This Tempest has a nice look, very clean. This stock-looking Oldsmobile sedan from back in the day sure was an interesting thing. I don't think we've seen cars like this around. Big chrome grills and bumpers on the front of these things sure do give them a lot of character. Here's another non-GTO or Firebird Pontiac model. The Le Mans here is a nice looking car. The convertible from the 60s is really sharp. The Pontiacs were really represented well at this show. This time it's a GTO. Sharp lines and smooth body panels make this one look really sharp. We finally made it to the Chevy Tri-5s with this red 55. Nice clean lines and good looking car. This Chevy truck from the late 40s or early 50s sure looks nice. It's definitely not stock under the hood, but has a real stock look other than that. We finally got to our first Camaro here from the late 60s. This one's definitely not stock with a modern drivetrain under the hood, but I gotta love that purple paint shining in the sun. You don't see many of these late 20s or early 30s Ford Roadsters on shows around this part, but that definitely are a quintessential hot rod. Great to see this one out. This 49 Ford F1 has a nice look. It's got a modern drivetrain under the hood, but some nice touches inside with the snakeskin seats. We've got another classic Chevy Tri-5 here. This time it's a 56 convertible Bel Air. Looks pretty much stock except for those nice wheels. The 64 Ford Fairlane 500 looks nice. Bet that red color sure is a magnet for the cops though. This Chevy from the 60s looks like it might be an Impala. It's a nice clean car. As I said before, you can't go to shows around here without seeing a bunch of Novas. This one's the next generation, newer, and it's badged as a Yanko, so if it truly is, then it's a pretty rare bird. We're back to the original generation of Novas here with this sinister looking blacked out model. Real slick. Why don't we go for 3 in a row? Here's another Nova. This one's got a little more mellow paint job, but still looks pretty classy. I don't know about you, but I think that's a pretty good way to start the season off. If the season goes that way all year, it's going to be a great year. Subscribe if you want to see where we go and what we find.